Simple. There it is. What are you saying now? What's work saying?
Do you know what, John? I'll be honest. So basically, I've been trying to cut down on the weight a bit. Not even cut down on the weight, but the times we're in right now. This Christmas season's rolling around. It's a bit cold. I need to put on a bit. And it's like I need to have a bit of warmth. So on the weekends, I'm treating myself, John. I'm treating myself. But that means weekdays, and I'm locked in. I have to be on point.
Yeah.
John, when I tell you, a lady Martha's walked past my desk and she was munching a sandwich and she was just looking at me and I was like, I could grab that right now. Like, John, I am so hungry. It's crazy.
So what does your diet look like though?
Right now, it's a situation where, like, today, for example, I've had 2 bananas and a protein bar. That's it.
Simple.
That's it. Simple. But you know, I don't know what it is about work though, because on the weekends, like this weekend, for example, I didn't eat until 1 on both Saturday and Sunday, and I was calm. I was fine.
But you know what it is, yeah? Do you know what I find? It depends on what I'm doing. Like, if I'm locked into something, like if I'm really mashing out some sort of work, then it's calm. But if you start getting idle on that, then the hunger comes. Sometimes it's not even a hungry thing. You're just bored, bro. Like, sometimes.
Boredom. But then, I don't know, because for me, I feel like I'm the opposite. I feel like when I'm idle, I don't even think about food like that. Like, it's not a sort of thing like that. When I'm doing something, I'm like, I need some fuel. Like I can feel myself lagging. I'm like, nah, I need some fuel.
Nuts.
So this weekend I was like, okay, cool. I haven't eaten till 1 p.m. both days. I was like, this is gonna be mine. And when I start work, this is actually perfect because my lunch break's at 1, so I won't eat till then. John, I woke up this morning. It was 7:30, and I'm starving.
Hungry. No word.
Hungry. So yeah, nah. But
are you doing it based on real quick? Are you doing it based on like measuring macros and calories, or is it just based on like how did you decide that you're gonna munch a banana and protein bar?
I'll be honest, I feel like I've been doing it for so long now where I kind of understand.
You just
like,
know. Okay.
For example, I know in a banana you're gonna get between 95 to like 110 calories probably in a banana. Protein bar, I'm getting, the one I have is like 198 calories. So in my head now, round it up, that's like 400 calories for the day. If I can burn off, let's say 300 before the time I have dinner, then really and truly all I've eaten is 100 calories that day, and then I just have dinner, a bit more leeway, but still even dinner, no carbs. It's a no carbs thing.
So you're a no carbs thing.
Yeah.
How do you feel like that affects you in terms of your energy during the day and that? Like, how do you feel with the no carbs thing?
For me personally, I feel like no carbs is more efficient for me. I find if I have carbs,
lethargic and that, bro. Sleepy.
Lethargic, John.
I hear it though.
So if anything, that part, having that not in my diet as much, one, it makes me, when I do have carbs on the weekend, it kind of makes me realize I don't even need it like that. Like it's not even essential. But 2, after having carbs on the weekend, I feel like my performance during the week when I don't have carbs again just rises. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's like with everyone. When no matter how hard you diet, I feel like when you get to a point where you eat so well for so long, you then don't want to eat bad. But then there's still always that, but what if? But sometimes I feel like you need to have that thing that you want just to get out your system, to realise that you didn't need it at all. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I even hear it still. Hear it.
Yeah, no, it's a tough one. But obviously, Christmas around the corner. I know the munching is about to be serious in a couple of weeks, so I need to rein it in.
Build up the leeway.
Word,
so that when Christmas doesn't. Nah, I even hear it still. I'm even slightly doing the same, but not as like before. Like let's say this time last year or this time start of this year. Oh my days, I was on it, bro. As in my diet was nuts. Nuts. Yeah. But it was good though. Like at that point, I was getting so used to it that even when I munched, like I would munch. I don't know. I'd munch like a tuna salad and it was tasting sweet. Like I could taste all the different. Because I was just used to eating bland food. The taste buds change, bro. Yeah, you can start to change. Wow, I just tasted that garlic, bro.
Yeah, no, bro.
Yeah.
Do you find that you get certain cravings for certain things, do you find you have like something that keeps you going when you're like in a severe dieting phase?
Do you know what it used to be for me? I'm speaking past tense though. Raspberries, bro. Raspberries.
Yeah, raspberries.
It's even nuts because I'm because back then I wasn't deep in it, but actually, when you munch healthy, depending on how you do it, you
Mm.
spend bears, bro.
Oh,
Like I spent bears on food. Oh my days.
100%.
Oh my days. Like it's actually nuts. So you have to be getting the bread in, bro. This is what we're talking about, the 9 to 5. Like, you have to get the bread
Essentially,
in, bro.
you
For it
have
to
to be
work.
getting the bread in, because if anything, nah, John, this is actually mad. Because now you say that, I realize there was 2 phases to like my dieting phase. Because I think I started before I left uni. I
Right.
was like, okay, I need to start eating healthy, and it was a situation where if you go to Tesco's, Sainsbury's, Asda's, and try and buy fruit, you're spending an arm and a leg. To buy fruit is an arm and a leg in today. In the climate we're living in today, you cannot be healthy. Essentially, like clean
100%.
healthy is long. Because, like, for example, when I'm at home, obviously now my parents are still paying for the food shop, so it's calm. But I'm not. My mum's spending like £10 every 2 days on fruit, just on
Bro,
fruit,
on fruits, bro. On
fruit.
fruit.
So
Fruit.
obviously
And then
now
if you want to get the protein in, bro, when you're hitting the protein targets, yeah, that one's gonna cost you an arm and a leg as well, bro. Because
but that's the thing.
either
So this
no,
is
go,
what
go,
I
go, go.
found. What I'm saying, my 2 phases of cutting were mad because at uni I didn't have an option to buy myself fruit or like
Right.
veg was a bit more calm, had a bit more leeway. Protein in terms of like a pack of chicken breast, John, long, kg pack, long. So I was
Simple.
eating stuff like fish cakes. I was eating stuff like so it was. I was literally only eating protein a day, but it was very highly processed protein. If you get what I'm saying.
It's not ideal, bro. It's not
It's
ideal.
not ideal. I was
It's not
eating the
ideal.
goujons. I was eating. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
lost
yeah,
weight
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
if anything, all I was just eating was protein and it was calm. And I was having like, for example, I'd do a 10K run in the morning, have like 2 fish cakes when I got back, have 2 fish cakes before maybe I started work at Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's now I'm only having, what would I have? A protein bar. But all of it's just everything's just processed. You get what I'm
Process.
saying?
Nah, I even hear it still. Are you
So
on the protein shakes?
Never had a protein shake in my life.
Swear.
Yeah, nah.
But is that a thing where you're against it, or just like I haven't had one yet?
No, not against it at all. I feel
Okay.
like now, because I've gone from a period of a lot of running, where I was running for time because where I was just been running 10K. So I feel like naturally, this is where I'm saying, if anyone's watching this, your kids need to be fat from young. Do you get what I'm saying? Because your kids need to be fat from young, because your child will complain. They'll say, "Oh, I don't like being overweight." But there's some pros, because I was always a child that was somewhat overweight when I was younger, and it meant at the time I didn't get it. But now as I've matured, I've realized, this was actually important for me, because it meant that I had so much mass on my body. When I lost it, I lost just the unnecessary excess. I didn't
hear
lose.
that. I hear that. I
Do you
hear
get
that.
what
I
I'm
hear
saying?
that. Do you know what the problem is, though, Sean? Do you know what the problem is? Do you know what the flip argument is?
Yeah.
There's 2 things. Number 1 is that, see, you made it out, bro. You escaped.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't escape.
A lot of people don't escape.
They don't escape, bro. They don't escape.
Nah,
So that's the first
no.
thing. And then the second thing is, imagine now, and I was even going to ask you about this because you mentioned it. Then the second thing is the bullying side, bro.
Oh yeah, nah.
It's the
long.
bullying side. So
It is
imagine
long.
now, if you're a child in it, and obviously you're overweight, and that, obviously number 1 is the bullying. Now, for someone like you or someone like me, and I was actually chatting to some people about this, yeah. If you, Sean, comes to me tomorrow, and like, by the way, if you say to me, "Hey, Jonathan, you're putting on weight, bro," I'll be like, "You know what, Sean, that's even right. I need to hit the gym," and I'll use that as like positive motivation to say, "You know what, I even rate that you told me that. Let's pat in the tank, bro," because that's even what will help me. But then there's some people that, like, if you tell them that, it's gonna mess up the thing for them. So imagine now you get the bullies, and they don't actually make it out, and it's just a spiral downwards. I don't know. That's the flip argument, though. But
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I feel like as you mature, you just realize the people around you, if they have your best interests at heart, like you're saying, if I actually clocked that you were putting on weight and it was getting to a point where it was a problem, I've got to tell you, like as in not as in a mocking thing, but just as in like a, John, mate, you need the pounds are stacking, mate. It's time.
No, 100.
Come on, do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like for me, when I was younger and I was overweight, it was more like a, now, John, actually controversial. So, primary school, my brother says this to me till this day, because
Which
me and my
one?
brother were
Brendan.
Brendan. So he's only 4 years younger than me. So
Yeah.
there was a point in primary school when I was year 6 and he was year 3, and we were in the same primary school, and I was a fat youth at this time. At this point, I had I was a tubby guy. So I remember he said to me, he was like, the other day, he was like, till this day, I don't know how girls liked you when you were that fat. And I said, I was like, you know what? Yeah, looking back at the pictures, I don't know either. I have no idea. No idea at all. But then it got to a point where I think it's just because I was funny, I was whatever, but they got to a point where you get to like year 8, year 9, then that's when people start, that's when body image becomes a thing, and which is what is mad, because I'm seeing it in like Ryan now, my youngest brother, who he's getting to this age now where he's saying, I don't want dessert every night. I don't want this for dinner because it's a bit unhealthy. Because now body image is now becoming a thing. Where it's right, I need to actually start thinking about how I'm looking, the clothes I'm wearing. Because at that point, you don't care how clothes fit on you. You don't care about clothes in general. So
that's get to a point where. Do you know what's nuts? I was even going to say it's nuts because I feel like at the same time today there's a big push on like, doesn't matter, mate. Just like this body positivity type thing. Like, just love yourself the way you are, mate.
I'll be honest. I hate that. There's a thing of like, but self-love, I understand. You should love it. You should love yourself to a degree, but it's not like saying, it's not fat shaming. It's just saying it's just not healthy. Like let's just be realistic now. Let's be honest with ourselves, because at the end of the day, you can lie to me, but don't lie to yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? So. I'm sorry, if you're at any point ever getting out of breath walking up the stairs, or you're getting out of breath walking from point A to point B, like that shouldn't be a thing. And I feel like this whole love yourself concept, I understand it to a degree, in the sense of, let's say for example, people might conform to say, I don't know, for example, I'm trying to think of an example. Someone, for example, Kylie Jenner, or what's her sister's name?
Kim.
No, the skinny
Chloe.
one. Not skinny. See, even me saying that is wrong. Like, me saying skinny is wrong. I need to be careful.
Oh, Kendall. Yeah.
People might look at those two and think that's like the perfect image. Do you get what I'm saying? And therefore, someone who's maybe, I don't know, 5 pounds heavier than Kendall is going to look at this and be like, I'm not that, so therefore I'm not perfect. That's where it's like, okay, now you should love yourself, because at the end of the day, and I strongly believe this, no matter how hard you try, you will never, ever look like someone else. Like, it's impossible. Yeah. It's impossible. I can look at some bodybuilder or whatever and say that I want to look like him. No matter how hard I try, I will never, ever look like him. Even if I get to the same like body fat percentage, same weight, same whatever, we will never look the same. Like, our bodies just never will look the same. So in that sense, that's where I support the whole love yourself concept of, you should love yourself as who you are and be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Now, where I don't agree is if now you're in a situation where it's just unhealthy, like clinically you're just obese and it's unhealthy. I'm actually not loving you by me saying to you, oh wow, you're amazing as you look. That I don't love you. I'm allowing you to fail. I'm watching you go down a path which you can't come back from, and then when it's too late, then it's but. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. Then this whole concept of love yourself, you're not really. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
Do you think fundamentally there's a difference between how dons process these things versus how yats or how girls process this? Like, do you think there's genuinely a difference in the optimal? Let's say you have two people that are overweight. Statistically, it's not even like just you're overweight, mate. There's two of them. One of them's a guy, one of them's a girl. Do you think, generally speaking, there's actually a different way to approach it in terms of how you should go about telling that person and encouraging that person, if it's a guy versus a girl?
I don't know, I mean, I feel like, do you know what it is, yeah? I'm going to say this. I think a reason why I feel that women don't necessarily take it as well is because they've spent however many generations having to focus on how their appearance so much. Because if you actually look back in time, for men, weight and appearance has never really been a thing like that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, there's some pressure now a little bit, but it's never been a thing like where oh, like okay, take it. Let's take it way back. Let's take it way back to like even like we're talking like medieval times, Queen Victoria, all these man. If you actually looked at couples, yeah, no seriously, if you looked at couples, it didn't make sense. Men would eat whatever they want, do whatever they want, whatever. Women were all these men were wearing corsets. They were told it needs to be this stick thing, needs to be this, that, the other, blah 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 blah, whatever. And I feel like they've been oppressed for so long that now it's like I actually do not care what you tell me. I'm gonna be just how I want to be, because I don't get it with men. Like, for example, we can have an honest conversation with each other and say to each other like, yeah, okay, cool, John, I feel like you put on a bit of weight. It's time to lose a little bit. But I feel like even between girls, there's that
animosity, bro.
I can't be honest. I can't. I've been in situations where sometimes I'm like, that's your bro, and you're just allowing her to fall off, like to a point where it's like it's no longer even healthy. You're captioning or commenting on her post. Oh, like I'm like, you're lying. That's your boy. Like it doesn't make sense. And I feel like the world we live in now is a bit soft. You got to be careful of what you say. You got everything's it's got to be put through a filter, and otherwise it can get a bit long.
See, my take is that with the whole body positivity thing, I think you should love yourself for sure. But my thing is like basically the way I view it is that you should love yourself enough that you can accept where you're at, knowing that you're going to change. Now I'm taking steps to improve. So let's say right now I'm completely overweight. Yeah, I can accept that without doing negative harm to myself because I love myself. But I know that this isn't the pattern, bro. Like I got to move. And so essentially, you're using that as fuel. Like you're using you accepting that this isn't the pattern. To actually get to where you want to be. Like I think that is what body positivity should be. I don't know if that's what it actually means, but like that's the thing for me. It's like that's how I view it.
To be fair, what you've said now, I can relate body positivity to myself, because I feel like I've always been a person who's very harsh on myself for how my appearance is in terms of like my physique and whatever. And I feel like there was a point where maybe it probably was a bit unhealthy in the sense of I thought that I need to be lean all year round, no matter what. I can't, like, I got to a point where I was in the best shape of my life that I'd ever been happy with. And I was like, I need to stay here forever now. And I think being at that point has allowed me now that, okay, I'm maybe put on maybe like 2-3 kg since then. So I was maybe like, in the summer, I was like 65. That's the lowest I got down to, 65 kg. Now I'm probably back at a 70. But now it's like, I love myself in the sense of, like you said, I'm happy in being where I am now, but I know that I can go back to the way I was before. Like I know I have the potential to be how 65 kg if I want to be. Do you get what I'm saying? So it means that I know that I can do that. So there's no point in me beating myself down when I'm this now, because I know I have the capabilities to get back to that point. But I feel like where I think it's wrong is if, for example, someone has shown no capabilities of ever losing that weight, or to then say, oh, love yourself as you are now, which could probably be a very unhealthy situation for yourself. It's like saying, well, I don't know how to describe it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like,
is it kind of like, so basically they haven't even got to the point yet where it's like they even know that they can pattern it. They haven't even got there. So they need to be a bit more hot on their steps, bro. Like you need to pattern your thing, because
body positivity is a way to cut yourself a bit of slack and be like, you know what, right now what you're going through is just a period. You have power to get back to wherever you want to get back to. But if you've never been there,
then you need to pattern. You need to go there first. Okay, interesting. That's an interesting thought. I never thought about that. 2 minutes. I hear it. What do you think about the idea that? So let's say you at some point you're 65 in it, and let's say you didn't stay there because some would argue whatever you did to get to 65, it probably wasn't sustainable long term. Do you think then that we shouldn't aspire to, for example, get to that 65? Let's say everyone in their body, they have their own version of getting to 65 kg, which is like their peak form. most times you don't stay there for long in it. So I think I got to like 64. Do you
Yeah.
think then that we shouldn't aspire to get to that, knowing that we're not going to hold it for long? Or do you think it's okay to drop, come back, drop, come back, drop, come back? Or it's like, by the way, I should just eat kind of within reason what I want. It won't work out here and there. If I'm 72, I'm 72. That should be my optimal condition, not the 64, which would be me being extreme. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, everyone has their own reasons for doing, like, wanting to lose weight, drop weight. Most people, it could just be maybe to fit in an outfit because they're going on holiday or whatever. And yeah, maybe for that period of time when you're doing that, I think it's good to have that goal as like a driving factor to make you want to do something. But it's like, at the end of the day, you're not going on holiday every week. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not going to be summer all year round. So it's one of those things where it's like, don't I don't know how to describe it. Don't let it hold you to account for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's not a bad thing to have a target to say, cool, I want to drop a bit of weight, but that's where the positivity bit comes in terms of, if you're not at that point, so long as you're still, I believe, so long as you're healthy, I think it's calm. Because everyone's healthy is different as well. That's the thing. Me, there's no way, John, I could ever be like, I don't know, above 80 kg. It's just not going to happen. Like, that for me would not be healthy. John, the breathing would be long. It would be long. If I was 85 kg, done out. Because of my height, my proportions, everything, it wouldn't make sense. Someone who's 6 foot, I don't know, 6 foot, even like your height, you can get to a point where you're like 85 kg, and you'd actually be calm. I probably wouldn't even notice much difference at all. Do you know what I mean? So I lost my point while I was going with this.
No, you're just talking about how everyone has different standards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you just need to find your median. I think that's what everyone needs to do, because everyone has extremes. Find your median, your average, and then I think that's the ballpark you should be chilling at most of the year. If you find a spur of like motivation where you want to all of a sudden lose a bit of weight, drop a bit of, or increase a bit of weight, that's calm. But know that after a period of time, both of those extremes are unsustainable. Come back to your median, innit?
I hear it. Do you know what I think? Yeah, and I guess this is kind of like a flip argument, innit? Like, one of the main reasons why I try or I pursue like getting in shape is because I think fundamentally if I'm chasing, becoming the best version of myself, I'm trying to become the best version of myself. A fundamental part of that is being in the best shape that I can be in. Period. So here's the challenge. This is kind of a flip to what you said. If I know that at one point I was at 64, let's say when you're at 65, to be fair, maybe I'm wrong, but when I was like around 65-ish, not necessarily just the weight, but I wasn't at my peak condition, bro. Do you get it? And so if now I've fallen back, and I know that, you know what, even when I was at 65 or when I was at 70, I wasn't at peak condition yet. That for me is like, listen, basically, if I'm in a race to get to the best version of myself, I've taken a couple of steps back. And even if I was where I was before, I still wouldn't be at the finish line. Do you get it? And so I think because of that, sometimes, for some people, at least people like myself, that can be a challenge in it. Like, just knowing that, listen, before I was here, and even when I was there, I still wasn't patterned. And now I'm here. This is peak. Like, what are you doing? Do you get it? I think sometimes that can be a bit of a challenge in terms of, I guess, the comparison side compared to like where you were before, where you are now. It can get a bit long in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that's the thing with human nature. Human nature is that the truth is we're never really content with what we have at the time. Do you get what I'm saying? So I found situations like that when I was 65. I didn't feel like I was 65. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I look at pictures now where I've put a bit of weight back on. I look at those pictures, I'm like, mad.
No word. Same.
Do you get what I'm saying? But that mind that I had at 65 kg was like, you're not... because obviously as well, you're at that point doing the same routine every single day, and you're looking for the smallest changes in yourself. That's when it gets hard to see any sort of change in you. So when you actually now get to a point where what you thought in your head maybe a couple months back when, that this is the ideal I want to be at, because now you've just been seeing yourself every single day. You're looking at yourself constantly. You're like, as well, that's not helping, because you don't give your body or your mind time to like think, right, this is what I was, this is what I am now. But it'll take you to put that weight back on, to look back at pictures and be like, mad, I actually got to that point, but I didn't appreciate it at all until now that I've come back, which is mad.
I even hear that still.
But then, I don't know. I think it's just because we're not really, I don't know, maybe the first jump from when you, let's say from doing no exercise to some exercise, you'll notice it. But I think if you're always someone who's somewhat relatively fit, it's hard to ever really notice there's any change, because the vice versa. I was watching this thing on TikTok yesterday, and it was this guy, he was overweight, John. He was getting married to his wife, and he said to his wife, he was like, I think he must have been, John, 130 kg. He was like to his wife on their wedding day, he was like, I'm gonna lose weight to become a healthier, happier person, who I can be a better husband, a better dad, all this stuff. I was like, cool, calm. Watching the video, and the weight drops, but for him, he could actively see the change, because he's gone from I don't know how to describe it. He's gone from such an extreme to where he is now. He's clocked the change, and I don't know. I've never really been at a point where like I've ever really.
Okay, I'm with you.
Because I feel like we've never been at that point where we're that.
I have. By the way, I'm gonna hop on this meeting, and I'm gonna be back though. But I'm gonna hop on the meeting real quick. But I'll for them lot, it's gonna be a second. But we'll hop back on it in a second.
Yeah, no, it's anymore.
Simple. We're back.
Cool. But yeah. So,
what were you even saying?
We were chatting about body positivity. We're waffling a bit, but I think the whole point of the whole body positivity thing, and I just had a bit of time to think about it, because I was like, let me have a little think about this, yeah. And for me personally, to sum it up, I think at the end of the day, your body is for living and not looking. I'll explain what I mean. I'll explain what I mean in that sense.
God.
So, the same way, as much as it's good to eat healthy and it's good to stay on track and whatever, it's for living, and it's for you to live in your body comfortably, which means that yes, you're going to have to do some exercise. Yes, you're going to have to restrict your diet. But at the same time, for you to live a happy life and whatever you need to do, sometimes it means you might have to revert and go the opposite way and eat a bit bad every now and again, and maybe not do a bit of exercise to maintain a sustainable lifestyle. But I feel like the same way in that sense, it's like for people that are obese, going too far on one end, you're not living. Do you get what I'm saying? You're not allowing yourself to do the things that a normal person should do with the life that they've been given. Do you get what I'm saying? You're literally limiting your life to a certain few things you can do, because you're not able to move around, you're not able to exercise, you're not able to go and enjoy just the daily activities that anyone else who is fit can do. So I think it's just trying to find a balance and working with it. But for me, body positivity, especially with people that are obese, giving body positivity to an obese person is for me, giving a gambler a credit card. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not, you're adding fuel to the flame, and all you're doing is you're promoting, or you're trying to re-emphasize to them that what they're doing is okay when it's not. Do you get what I'm saying? You need to, at the same time, tell them to live their life, but we just got to be an honest friend to each other and say straight up.
It needs to be, as Thanos was saying, all things need to be balanced, bro. They need to be balanced.
They need to be balanced.
That's what we're trying to say.
That's what we're trying to say. That said it, summed it up simply.
Perfectly balanced, bro. That's all things should be, bro.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. And that's how it is.
Simple.
That's how it is.
Nah, even here, that's even a good summary. We even need to get into the story, into the Spain trip. Obviously, we were a couple episodes ago. We were talking about like how we even became friends, like the story behind it. We talked a bit about year 7, year 8. But I'd say one of the main highlights is the Spain trip.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So we need to give the context for people that might not understand how we ended up going on the Spain trip, why was important, and all of the rest. What are you saying? Yeah. What's your recollection of the Spain trip? You can even start the context if you want.
So me and John, I always
16.
get it wrong. 2016,
16.
yeah. So we were year 10 at this point. 15-year-olds ready to embark on our first international trip abroad as like a group of friends. And it was cold. They gave us notification of this trip maybe like, was it, John, I feel like when they told us about the trip and when we actually went on the trip, it felt like years notice. Like
Nah, it was. And even the context was that basically, so we went to the same school, obviously.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that, see, I thought, and this is where, I don't know, but the way it was that once you get to 16, you obviously have to do your GCSEs, right? And for our school, I'm pretty sure every school in the UK, I don't know, was it just our school? But you have to do at least one language in it. So
yeah, I think that was
the
thing.
idea in my mind was that the people that were going to choose to do Spanish, they had a trip to Spain, innit? I don't know if that's how it was, but that was what I thought it was.
That was my
So
logic as well.
Yeah, that was my logic as well.
Yeah.
But that's, for example, because of that, I didn't go on the France trip. You man did.
I was like,
I took it out. I took it out. Yeah, I took it out. But anyways, the point is that, so they told us about this time ago. Time ago. And then basically we're supposed to show our interest and start to pay the deposits and the down payments.
Yeah, word.
Which is even nuts because I remember distinctively that I almost didn't even go on this trip. Because my parents were even longing out to take. They were longing out.
Same. They were longing out the payments. It was deadline day, as in D-Day, we're about to take off. And still, the school was expecting me to pay £120. And I was like, Dad, please, please send the payments.
100. But eventually, look, we made it. We ended up going.
Yeah.
We ended up going to Barcelona, which is, I think, see, for me... Wait, Sean, that was your first time in Spain, right? Or you've been before?
Yes. Yeah, no, that was my first time.
What was when we got to Spain? What was the first thing that you kind of noticed, or like when we were there? What was do you remember like anything in particular that you're like, wow, this is nuts?
The fact, well, I don't know if it's just Barcelona, but no houses.
Yeah,
no houses.
Yeah,
I was like, where is a yard? Where's my semi-detached? Where's the terrace? Nothing. All flats. All flats, which we will give a bit more detail about. But our situation when we went was that we went to Spain as a group. It was like a few different people that paid for the trip in different Spanish classes, but we went as a group and we were in groups of 3. So me, John, and our other friend Adam, we were in a group of 3, and we were designated a family to stay with for how long was it? A week?
It was probably like a 5. It was. I reckon it was probably like a 5-day thing still.
Yeah, it was a 5-day thing.
It was probably like a
5-ish. It felt like a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
It felt like
It was like a 4 nights, 5-day thing.
Yeah, it was 4 nights, 5 days. Efficient. Efficient.
Yeah.
So we get to Spain now, and also shout out to all the teachers that take these kids on school trips because it is long. And do you know what I deeped? Yeah, Mr. Powell. He was our form tutor. He happened to be our Spanish teacher as well. He took us on this trip. Wait, did you have Mr. Powell?
Yeah, I did. But I think we had different classes, you know. But
yeah.
I had Mr. Powell, and then later on I had man, Bo's reading them.
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
That name was stuck in my head.
Simple. Nah, she was actually my G. I'm not gonna lie. She was actually my G, bro.
Nah, she was so safe.
Yeah, that's my dog.
I never spoke to her, but she was safe.
Nah, she was safe.
But yeah, anyway, so in Spain, I'll touch down. But prior to this, I remember Mr. Powell saying, that's what I'm saying, shout out to the teachers, because did you not see on the plane, he fell asleep, he had to recharge the batteries.
Stress, bro. It's just too much stress, bro.
These next 2 hours, the only 2 hours of this trip, I get to rest. Yeah. Because I was deep, even when we're there, we're not with him. At any time, we could call him at 3 a.m. and say, sir, and he has to come and get us. Has to. So I was like, this is his time to sleep and recharge. I was like, it was so peak because everyone's taking pictures of him making memes on their phones, and it was just circulated around.
Do you know what? I think people were saying be vigilant or something like that, because you were saying we need to be vigilant. And the body was sleeping, and people taking pictures saying you need to be vigilant. I remember. I remember. But it's even nuts though, Sean. Obviously, this is a normal concept, but just thinking about it logically, imagine the idea that you have like a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds. They go to a country, they don't speak the language, and then we split them up across the city and give them to different families. And that's a good idea. It worked, but I'm just thinking, is that what we were doing?
But here, Childline's getting involved. Somewhere Childline is getting involved.
That's nuts, because it's not even, we don't even speak the language, bro. Like, we're going to Spain. No one, maybe one person, a couple of people in the group could actually, the older ones could understand a bit of Spanish, speak a bit of Spanish, but the rest of us, we were done out. Oh my days. Like,
No,
we couldn't
do
speak
you know what I
Spanish
want
for
to know? I
Jack.
wonder what was the vetting process like. What was the process where they made
100.
sure these people were calm? Because I don't know, maybe it's just the standard. Because okay, for example, let's take the same situation and put it in England. There's no way that anyone's ever coming from Spain to here and they're letting them live with someone who lives in a flat with one room for 15-year-olds just to sleep in. It's not happening. It's not
nuts,
happening.
bro. We might even be surprised. Maybe this is just normal, bro.
Maybe it
this
is.
just,
Maybe,
we're just
but
moving mad.
but yeah, no. So touchdown in Spain. We're getting designated our families now, and
No worries.
yeah. So I remember we were like group 1 on the list. So in our heads, I'm thinking, yeah, no, we'll get patterned. It'll be calm. But as time's going on, the families are getting assorted to the students, and we're looking around and we're getting lower and lower and lower down the rankings of people getting like dished out. So it was literally getting to a point where it was us and another group. At this point, all the parents who were sitting, we've been like, yeah, we wanted them. They've all gone.
They've all gone. They've all been decimated.
It was now the best of the rest, pretty much. It was that sort of situation. And there was these 2 people, a guy and a woman. And we were like, yeah, no. This woman actually looks kind of safe. She was one of our first picks. We were like, yeah, no, she looks safe. She has to be cold.
Because when we parked up,
yeah.
We were in the Plaza, no? Do you know the place is even. I've been there bare times now. It's called Plaza de Catalunya, right? So people that know Barcelona will know the ends. But obviously we're there in it, and on the side there's like a place where like there's just like a mad long, I guess pavement walkway wherever it is. And I remember when we parked up there, and I was like, yeah, she looks safe. This one, no,
she's best.
I was like, yeah, she looked best. Like, she's like just a calm. Yeah, like, yeah,
she's calm. Like she'll allow it, so it's calm. So we don't end up getting her, and we're then left with this other guy whose name was Danny.
100.
So now we're like at this point we're like long. Like, we were defeated at this point. It was like
actually defeated. And I think the nail in the coffin was when Don. The first thing he said to us was that, "Oh yeah, my English,
no good,
no boy, no good." Yeah, that was the first thing he said. I know we said, "Yeah, it's done, bro. It's over,
done." So now at this point, we're on the train back, and it feels like a bop away, and we get back to his flat, get in. We're seeing it's one room we're in, like a bunk bed and a single bed, and we sat down, and I remember. You could hear the silence, John. Like the silence was deafening. Like you could hear it. And I remember we were like, "Raw, this is actually peak." But he then came into our room and he provided us with the Wi-Fi password. What did he say to us? He was like,
he just came in. He was yeah. Like, he just gave us the code. We're like, swear, okay, fair enough.
Okay, it's looking a bit.
Do you know what the biggest moral of this whole story is? Yeah, you don't judge the book by its cover. Simple.
No. That line there, John, could not have applied more to us more on this trip. But so we're now, what happens? Yeah, so we're sat on the bed.
Slaps us the Wi-Fi. We're like,
Wi-Fi, cool, boom. So we're sat there, we're like, okay, cool, it's calm, we've got Wi-Fi now. And then they're like, dinner's ready soon, sort of situation. And we're like, okay, cool. I had zero expectation of what he's going to put on the table.
Zero expectation, yeah.
But I was like, oh, it is what it is. Like, do you know what I mean? It can't get much worse than we're at now.
No, word.
So now we go and sit down in the living room. It was like because it's just a small situation, small flat situations. Like the living room was the same place we ate food and whatever, and it was calm. 100. It was calm. So we sat down and they brought out a feast.
The munch.
We had pasta that night, but the pasta was cold. The belly was lined, John.
No. It was even the munch was even different, bro. I remember, bro.
The munch was crazy.
There was options, bro.
Options. It was a banquet, John. I was like, this is crazy.
We were enjoying ourselves, bro. And I remember, I remember you after we went back to our rooms. You wanted water in it, and you went to go look for. Do you remember when you went to go look for water? You're like, how do I see water? And I was like, agua.
Yeah, man. I literally went in. You know, this was the worst Spanish. I just literally went up to him and said, agua. That's all I said. I just said water.
It's simple. Agua.
And he was like, that was calm. But, so the maddest part, when we were having this first meal, we were like, okay, cool. Food's cold. Everything's fine. Cool. I remember the TV was on. Do you remember?
Yeah.
The TV was on whilst we were eating. And an advert came on. This, for those that don't know, right? Those that never got to witness this era of football, this was
Mm,
prime Barcelona era. We're talking Messi,
prime
Neymar,
MSN, bro.
Suarez, MSN in their
Single.
prime.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure, was that not the season, or was the season before Messi scored that 92 goal season where he scored 92 goals in one season?
It might have been the season before, or maybe no,
Yeah,
maybe
because
it
I
was
think
that. Maybe it was that season.
it probably was.
But you know the
But
nuts thing is, at the time when we got there, Messi hadn't played. He was injured. Do you remember?
mm, yeah, no,
Simple,
just stop
simple.
it,
He was
stop it.
injured for a little bit. He was injured for a little bit. He was
So
injured for a little bit.
bearing in mind, people, let's not forget we spent £600 on this trip, right?
Hundred.
£600, €600 either, or whatever it was. And so we're thinking, you know what, yeah, like we're not going to be able to do much. They said to us prior to this trip, the main selling thing they told us was, oh, we're going to go on a tour of the Camp Nou, and we were
Yeah,
all
yeah,
gassed.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So now we're sat at dinner, and he looks at the TV. Obviously the English isn't that great, so kind of
Mm.
make out what he's saying, but he says to us, he was like, oh, what was he saying? He's like, you
I
go,
think he
like,
just said he was like, oh no, he was like, do you like football? He just asked if we
yeah,
like
do you like
football,
football?
and we're like, yeah.
Yeah,
We must be
yeah.
like, see,
See,
something like that. And then he
yeah.
must have said like, oh, if we like Barcelona, and I think that there was the language barrier would have been nuts, but I think basically he must have asked if we like Barcelona or if we
Mm,
like Madrid, if we like Ronaldo. Because I think Adam, I could be waffling. Was it Adam? I don't know. Because when I spoke to him recently, I'm jumping the story, but he
yeah.
must have said that one of us liked Ronaldo, and
Yeah,
then
that could have
you
locked it
get it.
all off, you know. If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
weren't
yeah,
careful,
yeah,
that could
yeah.
have, yeah, no,
Yeah, no, we could have locked the whole thing. Because the maddest thing is, he wasn't even Spanish, bro. He was from Argentina, bro. And you know what the maddest thing is? He's not just from anywhere. He's from the same city as Messi, bro. I don't know if I told you
Nah,
this, bro.
Joe, we could have
He's from the
been, Joe,
same
the
ends, bro,
whole
as
team
Messi.
could have been locked
Locked
off.
off the whole thing, bro. But anyways, so he must have introduced the idea of like, oh, do you like Barcelona? Do you like Messi? So we must have been like, yeah, we're gassing it.
Yeah,
And then he must have said something like, oh, the stadium's like, it's not far in it. And it's like, oh,
yeah.
we can go.
Now we can
We said
go.
we can go.
And at
But
this point, it hadn't actually quite registered in
it
our
didn't
heads
clock.
that
It
he
didn't
was saying
clock. We
to
would have been
us
like, wait, sorry,
that
did he
he's
just
saying that we
say
can go and watch the game. And I think it
100?
was to be in, who was it? Barcelona against
Celta Vigo, bro.
Celta Vigo. That's the one.
100%.
If you look up the game, people, you'll know.
100.
If you know,
February
you know.
14th, 2016, bro.
Words.
February 14th,
So
2016. But to
obviously
be fair,
now,
we even jumping. Sean, we even jumping.
let's
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 not
let's
even get to
let's,
the game.
let's not
Well, let's
jump.
not
Let's
get
not
to the
jump.
game yet.
Let's
Let's not jump.
rewind. So now we processed what he's actually said, and now we're like, what? Like we're gassed. So
100.
us being the silly youth, we should have just kept quiet. We should have just kept.
Even before this, do you know what we did? Yeah, do you know what we did? He said we can go, but he said that it's just a case of bread, innit? He must have said Adam back patterned us. Adam
Yeah,
patterned us in it because he was like, oh yeah, we can go, but he doesn't have bread in it. And
yeah,
then he must have said, like he must have asked like how much it is. And Adam being Adam in it, Adam said, don't worry, if we can pattern the bread, can we go?
yeah.
And he said, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know what we did, yeah? You know what we did after we went? We took out all of our bread. We took out all of our bread, yeah. And we slapped at the table.
We literally had a spending allowance, and we
No way.
literally were like, okay, let's just blow it all. We're gonna blow it
Nah,
all,
we put
essentially.
all of the bread in the pot and we counted it. We said, you know what?
Counted it,
If we
divided
put
it.
all this bread down, I'm pretty sure we can split it and we can make it happen, bro.
Word. So, but I remember at this point we didn't think that he was going. I think we assumed that he was going to pay for himself. We didn't actually understand the situation of the bread situation. So obviously he didn't have a lot of money. So,
No word.
but yeah, we'll come back to that bit. But so I remember now we found out we're going. We're gassed.
Word.
It's calm, cool.
No word.
And now we're in the group chat with all the other students, and we're saying, yeah, we're going to watch the
Gotta go to
game. These
Word.
are all going to ask their host parents. They're like, yeah, nah, you can watch it on TV. It's calm.
100.
Everyone was vexed. So I remember now, next day now, we're going just for our trip day
Our
out.
daily
school.
itinerary, bro. Daily itinerary.
Yeah, itinerary. You had to meet at the meeting point, and we're all stood there. And no. So we were the last group to get there, I'm pretty sure, and we're met by someone snaked us.
He
They're
snaked, bro.
all chatting about us, John. Someone snaked us.
Word.
As soon as we get there, we get a you, and you. Come here. Our form
100.
tutor, he just looked vexed. Like, why are you so vexed? It's 8 in the morning. Why are you
No, word.
angry? And he's like, so I've heard that you guys think you think you're going to the Barcelona
I
game.
heard that. Word. He was like, sorry. He said, "So I've heard that you guys think that you're going to the game." And the guy said, "Yeah, Sean, do you know what the nuts thing is? This was on our day off. Because remember, we had one day off in it. In our
Yeah,
itinerary, we had one day that we
yeah,
could be with our host family and we could do whatever we wanted. And this
yeah.
happened to be on the day off. And he was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, you're not going."
you're not going.
He was like, "Yeah, you're not going." Oh, you're
You
not
know,
going.
he said it so abruptly. Like,
No, wait.
if you think that I'm allowing you to go to
Yeah,
this game, you're crazy.
yeah, he's
I
not
remember.
going.
I think the point was is that he thought that we were. This is what I'm saying. He thought that we were
Yeah,
going by ourselves to the game,
word.
which fair enough. Looking back at it now, obviously, 15-year
It's
old
true.
students going to send by themselves to go and watch a football game in a town that they
It's a
even
bit
know.
nuts. It's a bit
I
nuts. Yeah,
understand that, but I think we assumed that our host guy was going to pay for his own ticket and he was going to come with us.
Oh, to be fair,
Do you remember?
that is actually what he was going to do. Do you remember? Because he was going to take us and then pick us up. Do you remember?
Yeah. He was just going to take us there, drop us off, pick us
Yeah,
up,
and then
come.
just chill
Boom.
and then pick us up. Yeah.
Word. So now, obviously now, I could sense all the haters, all the other students were gassed. I'm like, yeah, no, they're not going. Yes.
Nah, I did.
Yes. So now we're like,
I
raw. We're on the. I remember we were on the underground on the way home. We were thinking, how are we going to pattern this? And I remember we were like, raw. We're gonna have to put our money together and get him a ticket as well because we need to go. So we
Yes.
got the rest of our bread together
Yes, we got the
and
bread together.
supplied him a ticket. These seats, guys, were take it as they were in
At
the
the top.
atmosphere. The air was
Word.
thin up there. It was
You can
thin.
see the whole city, bro. No, word.
Nah, you can see the whole Barcelona. You can see all of it from where we were sat. But
100 top.
how much are the tickets? Maybe like
But it was like a 50 thing, you know?
yeah, 50.
One thing I read about Barcelona, though, compared to like Prem teams, you can actually get a ticket without too much. Like, you don't. It's not that deep to get a ticket to go to
Yeah,
see
it wasn't
Barcelona.
that deep at all. You know, it was
Like,
just
if you want to go to Chelsea,
you got
bro, you got to go to the back market. Yeah. Like, it's long, bro. But here's the thing. And I guess it's because they have so many seats, bro. Like, the capacity is so much. It's like a 90K stadium.
No.
But it's even nuts because Sean, that was even the day. So think about it. That day that Donny said in the morning that we're not going. That day was even a long day for us, and that's even the day that I'm pretty sure that was the day we went to McDonald's. That you got the McDonald's. It might have been that day, you know.
Okay.
We went to Sagrada Familia.
Yeah, now quick tangent. So we went to see the Sagrada de Familia. It's like the biggest cathedral in the world. It's huge. It's in Barcelona. And I remember when we went there, we were told that okay, guys, you can stay within this perimeter of the what's it? The cathedral.
There was like a park and stuff, and then
there was a few shops outside the edge, around the edge of it, where you could go to get food or whatever. Cool. So I'm now hungry. Everyone's hungry. Cool.
Do you want to see the match on top of this? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
They slapped us bread because remember, as part of our bread that we paid for the trip, part of that was even our spending bread. But they wanted to
imagine
as a win. So he says, "Here's your 20 euros. Spend it on what you want in it." Say no more. Okay, say no more.
Here's your let's underline your 20 euros and you spend it on what you want. So you just give me back my bread. Fair enough, cool. So I'm like, okay, cool. I see a McDonald's and it must have been no more than maybe 5 meters outside the perimeter. Not deep at all. It was a hop and a skip. And you were there.
100.
So I go in now, get my 20 chicken nuggets. This is when 20 chicken nuggets like just started as well. So it's just that was when it just started. So I was like, cool. Got my 20 chicken nuggets, cool, calm. I'm walking back now to where everyone's chilling. And I hear Sean. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yes, sir. And he's like, where did you get that?
No word.
It's got a fat M on the side. You know where I got it from. Why are you asking me stupid questions? And I said, McDonald's. And he was like, does that look like it's in the perimeter? And I was like, so it's literally was just across the road. He was like,
there, bro.
oh, look. so you're ignoring my instructions now. Like this guy took it. He always had to take it just a step further every time.
100.
But I love him though. But looking back at the time, I was vexed. So he was like, no, calm. So since you've ignored my instruction, now you're going to miss out on this time to enjoy and spend around this part. And you're going to come and sit with me. So he made me come and sit with him on a bench, right? Let's set the scene. On a bench, I'm sat with my teacher. Nuggets in between me. I spent €7 and he's saying you can't eat them.
100.
I was like, okay, cool. So we sat down. I didn't realize we were there, John. I was there for time. I think it must have been
Because
like 2
I
hours.
think we were even like, were we like banging out football or something with like a tennis ball,
Oh,
something like that, bro?
I was watching these
Yeah.
lot bang football, and I'm just sat there next to my nuggets, and he's saying you can't eat them. I tried to escape a few times. I think one time I was like, "Oh,
I
sir,
think he said,
can
I just go to the toilet. Yeah,
yeah, sir, can I go to the toilet?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, don't worry, I'll come with you." Oh, leave me alone.
Simple.
And then at the end of all of it, instead of just letting me eat my food, which I paid for, I'm not even eating, John, at this point. And he says, "Yeah, nah, you can put them in the bin now."
Simple.
John, I was
Pain.
serious saying, yeah, nah,
No
but
word.
I was vexed. I was
It's
vexed.
even not
So-
Sean. Can you even do that, bro? Are you even allowed to do that to a kid, bro?
And you know, all of this was just purely because he was such a fitness fanatic that he was giving me a lecture the entire time I was sat there saying, "This is
Oh,
garbage
it's poison,
for your body.
bro. It's poison, bro.
It's poison."
Do you know, I even remember he was like, "Where did you get that poison?" Sorry.
Yeah, word. I was like, "Bro,
Where did you
just
get that
the
poison?
use. Leave me alone."
No, word. You know, the mad thing is though, in hindsight, he was
In
even
hindsight,
right, bro. He was even
He's
saving
right.
you, bro.
I get it. He's not wrong at all. No, he's not wrong in the slightest. But I was like, give me a bit of leeway, man. This is my bread that I'm using, and I've just wanted to buy a munch before we go. So at this point, the day is done. Like for me,
Nah,
I'm
word. It was an
vexed.
L of a day, bro.
It was a
an
L of a whole day. So let's revert back to the trip before we cut. So
No word. Because to be fair, it was even that day when we went back to our meeting point. Then on the way home, we must have told him that, oh yeah, teacher said we can't go.
yeah,
And I think he must have been,
he was like,
why? And then
what?
he was just, yeah, he was like, why? And he was like, what was it? So, and then basically, I think that's when he was like, all right, Senator, well, what we'll do is we'll go, but don't tell anyone. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was like, listen, we'll go. Yeah,
Okay.
we were happy.
Happy. We were like, this is the goat, man.
No, he was like, oh, we'll go. He was like, let's just go. And then we won't tell anyone. And I think that's when we were like, oh, if we'll pay for him or something like that. We're like, oh, we'll pay for him.
Yeah, word. And
Like, he has to come with us. He was like, yeah.
Yeah, word. He was gassed as well. He was gassed. He's like, oh, swear. It was like, okay, yeah, no. And it was worth every penny. John, hindsight's a beautiful thing. But it's always amazing when it works out how it should have worked out, because what we witnessed that day, imagine 3 boys, 15-year-old boys, getting to watch the greatest player, arguably. Actually, no, I don't think it's an argument.
No, it's not an argument thing, bro.
It's not an argument
just
thing.
Facts. That's just a
We're past
fact,
that.
by the way.
Watching the greatest player of all time in his prime play.
And that was his first game back after the injury, bro.
First game back.
Because I remember there was even like rumors that, is he going to play? Is he not going to play?
Yeah.
And remember, we got there, these men were doing warm-ups. Do you remember these men were doing warm-ups? And then Messi came out. Everyone was gassed, bro. These men were playing crossbar challenge, bro.
Screaming. Yeah, crossbar challenge.
Yeah.
So we're watching the game now in the stratosphere. And we're gassed. It was cold. I remember it was so. I don't remember how cold it was. I remember I was just that gassed. I was
trying to take snaps, bro. I was trying to take snaps.
Yeah, we were taking snaps.
Phone was down. Adam was giving me his portable charger. Phone was down. Snappy. I remember.
And we're watching the game, and it was. I can't lie, John. That till this day still gives me goosebumps when I think about it. So, what happened in that game? Messi scored. How many goals did Messi score?
Messi scored. I want to say 2.
It wasn't a hat-trick thing. It was 2.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
He scored the peakest free kick, bro.
He scored a free kick. He scored another goal. And he could have scored another goal, a penalty. For those that don't know, this was the game where Messi had a penalty. He lined it up to take the penalty. And as he's going to take the shot, he lays it off to Suarez.
Simple.
He slots it in. That he did that, John. You know how crazy that is.
Nah, it's even nuts, bro. And
we didn't realize what we witnessed that day.
Nah,
we didn't. That is genuinely Barcelona history now.
It's even nuts because every time I say, "Oh, you know when Messi passed the thing, passed it to Suarez for the penalty," everyone knows what I'm talking about. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I know that." I was like, "Yeah, I was there."
I was there.
Everybody knows that game, bro.
We witnessed history. We witnessed Neymar do rainbow flicks over people. Like, it was crazy game. And game ended
6-1. Do you know what's even nuts? At half time, it was 1-1 because we must have scored. Barcelona scored. I can't remember who it was. and then they scored, and then it was half time, and then we're thinking, oh, sorry, what's going on here? Like, we came all this way, like, oh, this is not Barcelona, and then second half,
Like,
they
there must be
just
some way
lost,
which
bro.
we can like put like a picture. Have you still got that video of that goal?
I absolutely do.
We
Somewhere,
need to
bro.
somehow
I'm gonna
integrate that
find
into
it.
this video, and
I'll
so
find it and put it in
they
there, bro.
believe what we're on about. But we
100. And we'll
saw.
put pictures there. We'll put the pictures there.
I remember, John, when Messi had the free kick. I remember you saying, I will never forget you saying, "It's going in. Like
So,
this is going in."
yeah.
And it just straight in.
My days. That day was too cold. I couldn't even explain it.
That was actually genuinely one of the happiest days of my life. Like honestly,
I genuinely don't think, regardless of what happens from here on, I don't think there's much of a level higher in terms of happiness.
Oh no,
for a day than that. I don't even think there's many happier days than that, bro. It was 2:30.
Everything about that day was incredible because I remember even
in the morning,
at half time.
Even before the game, we went to the shopping mall and that we were going around here and
he took us to the shopping mall. We just had it was just a wholesome day.
At that point, we were cheese. Like that was.
I remember even when we came back from the game, he made us a munch.
Sure, do you remember that much? Yeah, because manually remember they brought out salad. Yeah, they brought out salad. Yeah,
they brought out salad, and I was like,
we brought a salad. Yeah, I will think it's say no more. So we brought a salad, and then these ones said, "Yep." And we thought,
that's it.
But because everything that happened, we were like, you know what? It's fair enough.
Yeah, let's just count our lucky stars, innit? Let's not be.
And then they said, 1 second. And then they brought the whole meal, and we said, swear.
John, they looked after us, man.
Nah,
they actually looked after us that trip.
100. And that's even when we first had the strawberry Miranda as well, bro.
Oh, strawberry Miranda. Crazy,
man. Rotted.
Never tasted sweeter. Not since then.
It was too sweet, bro. Nah, since then, I don't know what's happened, but it doesn't even taste as sweet, bro. It was sweet, fam.
No,
you were going to say something. You were about to say something.
But yeah, we need to let them know about Crystal Palace as well before we cut. But yeah, no, basically, I remember when we were at the game, there was a point when at halftime we went in under the tunnel where there was like serving food. I remember we were all just chatting back and forth, and there was this guy. So that he was like, "You alright, lads?" We were like, "Yeah, mate." And he was like, where you guys from? And we were like, England. Yeah, no, mate, I know that, but like, where are you from in England? And he was like, do you know Kent? Oh, mate, I'm from Kent.
Yeah.
Where was he from, John? Was he?
I can't even remember because he was
local as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because he was linked to one team in it. He was like, something like he's part of some team or something like that.
Yeah, I swear
it was local.
And I was like, this is crazy. We just met in the tunnel of like the top of all the tunnels there are in that whole stadium. We met this guy who was there with I think it was his son, wasn't it, or his daughter?
Yeah, it was his son. His son.
Yeah, and they were watching the game. But I was like, this is cold. But to finish the whole trip. Joe, this is crazy. There's loads of other bits of this trip, to be fair, which we can touch on here and there. But the ending of the trip was jokes. So we were now getting our flight back home with EasyJet again. And the airport, they said we were going to. Do you know what I think was mad as well? They gave us the rest of our budget, which was actually bears. They gave us like the rest of our budget, which was bears. They hoarded it until at the worst airport I've ever seen in my life. There was literally, I think, 2 shops.
It's like literally, it's like the airport itself is calm. It's like where we were. Like it wasn't even they gave it to us before. He gave us right before we got on the plane. There was like 2 shops there, bro.
2 shops, that was it. And they gave us like £50, which for us at the time was bread. It was like, so now what am I doing with this? Anyway, we're there now. It's literally just us, a few other people, get ready to go on this flight. And we're like, this is... And we were there for time as well. A couple hours.
Early, bro. We got there
early doors.
Early.
And then I remember I was seeing these tall youths walking through, and I was like, who the hell are these man coming through? Lo and behold, it was Crystal Palace football team.
Bro.
Crystal Palace, Premier League side, at the time and even now, were in the same airport as us, and it was literally just our school, their school, pretty much. Like, that's literally what it was.
The plane was literally our school and them lot.
Yeah, let's give a bit of context. The players that at the time were like Adebayor. They had, who else did they have?
Balassi was there.
Balassi.
Shamak was there.
Shamak.
Who else was there?
I got a picture.
He was the keeper. What is his name? I even forgotten now. But now word, because it was even there was more people there that we knew. at the time. Was like,
This was like a
yeah,
good
we were
Crystal
like,
Palace team
sweat,
as well. We were like,
sweat.
sweat. I've even got a
No,
picture of one of them. I was trying to see if I can find it.
same.
Yeah, nah. But yeah, so we were just chilling with these lot. I remember, so we were bugging them for time. Which, to be fair, granted, with 15-year-olds seeing a Crystal Palace team, like, let us be gassed in it.
No
So
way.
now, obviously, some of them were just being moist with taking pictures. Like, you ask them to take a picture, they get ready to be there, and then as soon as you're ready to press the button, they then move their heads. It's like, what you do. Adibel was being a waste man. I don't know who he thought he was, but I was like, bro, humble yourself. We're in the same airport.
He was just so tired of speaking to Yeats, bro.
Yeah, words. So
But I think the
they're
biggest
like,
thing is these were like, oh, we need to go now. We'll get the plane.
yeah, their coach was like, all right, lads, we're off now. We're going on the plane. And we were like, okay, calm. I'm standing there looking at the planes outside. There's only one plane. So tell me why Crystal Palace are playing for EasyJet. That actually made no sense to me. But maybe keeping a low profile, I don't know. Who knows?
No word.
But they've been there for like a training week. I think they'd even been at the game as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
to watch the game. So we're now, imagine an EasyJet plane pretty much has only enough seats for our school and Crystal Palace. So it's pretty much we were at the back, they were at the front sort of situation. But yeah, nah. As soon as we touched down in England, the security was everywhere. It was like, no. Right. Because they didn't have security in Spain. There was none.
Spain, that word.
Like, who are these men in Spain? But when we touched down, it was long. It was like, no pictures. I'm like, relax. What do you mean no pictures? I get it. Don't get me wrong.
We just spent the last 4 hours with these dons. Like, relax.
Yeah, word. I know his mum's name. I know his mum's name. Relax.
We're like Crystal Palace, you know.
Yeah,
that's even nuts not doing that, but fair enough, bro. Just keep the cost down on this unnecessary cost. Just keep it down. Simple.
Word.